Hey guys, King of Charmanders here, and today I bring to you a video on the best Deviljho event review. Was it good or was it bad? So this video is a review for the Deviljho event that is taking place right now. It's only got one day left, but might as well make a review on it because nothing's going to change in a day anyways. I will cover the good things about the Deviljho event and the bad things as well. So we're going to cover the good, we're going to cover the bad from different angles. And I am making this video to provide feedback and the feedback I've seen from the community. So some of you really liked this event, some of you really hated this event. There were problems with this event, and some of you had things about this event that you liked. We're going to take all of that, put it in one video, and smack it and put it in front of Niantic, Japan, and Capcom in hopes that the next Deviljho event is going to be better than this one. Alright, first we're going to start off with the good things about the Deviljho event. So the Deviljho quests were pretty easy to complete. The quest also gave some great rewards for completing them. I'm going to put that in the next slide. Just the total amount of stuff you got from completing all the Deviljho quests. This also included a Deviljho saliva for slaying a 6-star Deviljho. I'm definitely grateful for this for those of you new players that are like, oh, we're getting a rarity 6. And we don't have to be at 8 stars. Well, it's nice for y'all, because this all started, I believe, back in last year. I think it was December during the New Year, Happy Hunting New Year event. So, never did it for me, but I'm happy that it's out because we've been crying for it, and it's finally come. So, hopefully that one Deviljho saliva does help some player out there to complete their quest to getting their Deviljho weapon where they wanted it to be. So, that moves on to what I mentioned, the total list of rewards from the Deviljho event quests. If you completed all the Deviljho event quests, you got 17,000 Zenny, 20 Rarity 1 Sharp Claws, 20 Rarity 1 Wingdrake Hides, 20 Rarity 1 Dragonfell Berries, 20 Rarity 2 Monster Bone Mediums, 5 times Rarity 2 Deviljho Tails, 15 times Rarity 3 Monster Bone Large, 10 times Rarity 3 Monster Bone Pluses, 5 times Rarity 3 Deviljho Talons, 5 times Rarity 4 Deviljho Prime Hides, 2 times Rarity 5 Deviljho Scalps, and of course the fabled and sought after Rarity 6 Deviljho Saliva times 1. And note the R means rarity, like you see here in the slides. But yes, that's the total you got if you completed all the Deviljho event quests. But it wasn't just a reward, there are more good things about the Deviljho event. So there are more volatile environments, so you have a chance to get more Deviljho. And an exclusive Hunter Medal, Invasion of the Ravenous Deviljho. So this wasn't that great, but if you're a completionist and you like gold shiny things, this was for you. Along with more monster spawns so that even if you weren't going after Deviljho, there was other things to hunt. Monster spawns were increased for this event, so again, that gave you a lot of things to hunt. If you weren't going after Deviljho, you wanted to get Wyvern Gem Shards, or if you were trying to take out certain monsters to get some of their parts, this event was for you. And players in large player communities like Japan, Hong Kong, etc. can find Deviljho and share them in groups thanks to the increase in volatile environments. I'm betting these hunters had a lot of fun because they were finding Deviljhos left and right, because the more hunters you have on the map, the more Deviljhos you can encounter because of that 200-mile radius. If you plant a bunch of people around you and you share all your Deviljhos, that's amazing for those in group hunt community environments. I'm super jealous, but I am a solo player, so I take pride in being a solo player. And now we move on to the bad things about the Deviljho event. And there were a lot of them. The appearance rates of Deviljho stayed the same. They put this in a big line with a star next to it being like, alright guys, hold on before y'all get excited, it's gonna stay the same. In other words, you wouldn't see a lot of Deviljho in one volatile environment. On my top tips, I placed a guy where a guy got like 6, I think like 7, someone corrected me for that, where they saw 7 Deviljho. So you could get up to 7 for one volatile environment biome, depending on how big it is. This basically made you travel for large periods of time from one biome to another, even if you were driving and grinding the event. If you look at this picture right here, there's a whole bunch of spawns, right? Well, guess what? Out of this picture you see right here, only 2 of them actually spawned a Deviljho. And I circled them right here, which was nuts. And mind you, this was a road where I had to go down and go left and right. Given it was a residential district, so it was easy to drive in, but having no way to go in and out and just having to go zigzag back and forth was definitely really annoying. And if you thought that was annoying, due to the increased monster spawns, some monsters on the map that Deviljho can invade might not be Deviljho. So, any of those great Jagresses, Kuluyakus, or Pukei-Pukeis that you are looking at, well, some of them might not be Deviljho. I found that situation a lot over here. Some of them, like the 8-star Deviljhos that I hoped would be Deviljho, a lot of them were what I wanted. But you ended up occasionally on those ones that were just like, wow, maybe this one's a Deviljho. And it was far off, you know, like the end of the road. And you're like, you know what, it might be one. And you go to it and it's not worth it. Then you have to backtrack. And that was a long backtracking for no reason. But that's just the nature of how this event was. If you were a solo player, you were forced to travel long distances to make the most out of this event. You couldn't do what I mentioned before, where you could take advantage of having a bunch of hunters around and you can kind of divide and conquer. Or you have like a party or something like that, you know, community event meeting where all of you come together and then all of y'all disperse and just share all the Deviljho you find in that time frame. So again, super jelly group hunters, but it was designed, this event was literally designed for them. In 2 hours of driving grinding, I only encountered 14 Deviljho at one point. To put this in perspective, I could take out 30 Black Diablos or more in that time frame during a boosted Black Diablos event. So, this was only half of the efficiency I normally could do, and in 2 hours of driving, that's 7 Deviljho an hour. I'm not about that life. It's gonna come back later. When I can get to a high efficiency number, that's when I'll go after it hard. But yes, hopefully for some of you it was better, but for me, it didn't really go very well. And lastly, about the bad things for the Deviljho event, you could only access Deviljho after completing the preseason story. So for you players that were like, hey, where's Deviljho? Well, you can only get it after you slay Rathalos in Chapter 13, Sunder of the Skies. So you have to get past a certain considerable point before you could actually slay Deviljho. And this means that this event would be out of reach for newer players. To put this in perspective, you could still encounter subspecies monsters in previous events. I know Deviljho's a final boss mob, so I get why the case is like this, but if you just started like 5 days ago and you ain't cracking 6 stars yet, well guess what? You're probably not going to see any Deviljho. And there was no boosted drop rates or anything for Deviljho materials. So if they're going to put this event out there, they should have done it like the Thunder event or the Pukei-Puke makeup event. Or not Pukei-Puke, the Poison makeup event, where the first 2 slots were doubled. That would at least make it worth it for all of the efficiency you lose if you were driving grinding and you didn't have that great group community environment like I mentioned before. So was the Deviljho event good or bad? In my opinion, this event was okay. For me, I put it in the middle, more leaning towards the bad side, but you know, it's like floating in there. But Deviljho's appear rate should have been increased to make it worth the grind for solo players, while players living in areas with a large player base had a lot of fun. The appearance rates for solo players would have been nice. Like I mentioned, if we could see double the Deviljho for every biome, I would have totally been all over this event. But 7 an hour? Depending on how lucky you get? Not my cup of tea. I'm all about saving time and being efficient, and that's not time and efficient, especially when it's gonna come back. Making the entire map volatile would have been amazing, but at the same time, I could see it breaking the game. So I wasn't fully sold. I know some of you all been like, man, just make the whole map volatile. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of ramifications on the deeper end of that spectrum if you were to make the whole place volatile. That's why they had to delete mapping or random mapping or set mapping, because you had to make it random for it to work. And there's a lot of problems already in the game right now as far as lag. As far as I know, those haven't been fixed yet. So let's fix those first before we do something crazy like this. And the Deviljho event also didn't have much going on for it outside of increased monster spawns. So outside of the monster spawns, there wasn't really a big bone. Now I know the quests were easy, but you know every event has quests, so you're going to expect to have that in there. But yes, outside, at least you had increased monster spawns, but it wasn't like anything like notable or anything like that. Same thing as before, more monsters, but for newer players this is probably great because you got a head start. You get to start slaying stuff left and right so that you get all the materials you need to get to the 6 stars, which you so desperately need to get to quickly. So here's my feedback to improve the next Deviljho event and just some of the things I saw a lot in the forums, etc. Increased appearance rates, or just put Deviljho out in the field like Zinogre for the upcoming Bolt of the Wilds Zinogre event. Zinogre is going to be out in the wild soon. In fact, this is why we hunted elemental weapons in the first plate, or thunder elemental weapons, so that we could take out Deviljho. But now Zinogre's coming out, so just put Deviljho out in the field, or like I mentioned, increased appearance rates. Either one would be great. Longer and or better quest rewards. Make this worth our while. If we're gonna do all this insanity, walking around hunting volatile environments, etc., make it worth our while, which includes double drop slots for the first 2 slots. You have done this before, Niantic Japan/Capcom. Double the drop rewards for the first 2 slots again, so if someone out there is really lucky and gets that double Deviljho Saliva slot, then they're going to be really happy about that, and they're going to want to hunt some more. Which leads me to my last point. Remote hunting to help our friends / get helped to grind Deviljhos. I'm pretty sure a lot of those players that just got to 6 stars will be like, man, I wish my friends that are overpowered could help me take out this 6-star Deviljho so I could complete this quest and get my free Deviljho Saliva. Well, you know, remote hunting would be really great. We had gathering hubs, we've had invite our friends, there's no reason why we shouldn't have remote hunting. You're probably gonna put it behind a paywall, but you know what, that's okay. Me and the other places out there that are whales, and probably most of Asia, will pay to have this feature. So, please put it into fruition so that again we can help our friends in the future hunt specific monsters like 6-star Deviljho, which you needed to hunt to get your free 1 Deviljho Saliva. Now in closing, let's hope that Niantic Japan/Capcom take our feedback into account for the next Deviljho event. There's gonna be another one, this won't be the only one. You will see it come back, likely one of these days. Maybe not soon, maybe not later, but you know it's gonna come back. And hopefully you get what you needed from the Deviljho event. Remember, don't worry if you didn't play this event, as another event will happen eventually. The reason I stress this so much is because as a mental health therapist, you have the fear of missing out, and that's usually the marketing tactic for Niantic. So, you're not going to miss on anything, bigger and better things will come out. So remember, even though Deviljho has the best dragon weapons right now, something down the road might come out which might be a better dragon weapon. So remember, if you didn't play this event, don't worry, it's gonna come back eventually. Just be patient, enjoy the ride, level up, and get better at Deviljho's attack patterns so that next time it comes around, you're going to turn this pickle, put it in the pickle jar, and just absolutely roast it to oblivion. With that being said, please do me a huge favor. Like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Good luck on your grinds. Again, I hope you did really well for this event. If not, don't worry, in the future you will. And I will see y'all on the next video.